Holy shit, there's 7 of them! And they're all gone.
And Brian just got a triple.
Cable, internet, and phone.
Well, just saying, I made all of these weeks.
This.
Just saying, I made all of these weeks.
What I need to know
There they all
is who's running ballistic vests for me.
Even though we have to wait until October at the latest to play the next installment of Call of Duty called Black Ops 4, if it's truly set in the modern or near future time frame, you can already play the game, which it needs to beat with Ironsight. Ironsight looks and feels like the long-lost Modern Warfare 4 game and a free-to-play offering. There's tons of guns and beepity-bops to choose from, and Call of Duty staples like perks, score streaks, character customization, weapon progression, and, unfortunately now, loot boxes. However, they make sense in a free-to-play game versus a $60 fee-to-play game because Activision is spelled with a $sign. The game is currently in the open beta phase and is only available for PC, but I haven't seen any indications if it will come to console or how long this beta phase will last. Ironsight is buttery smooth, and it looks and feels like a Call of Duty game from back when the franchise was actually making good games pre-Ghosts. It's fast-paced, run-and-gun action with a map design that harkens back to the golden age of Call of Duty, with some maps that even seem like reversioning of older maps like Dam of High Rise, Airport of Terminal, and Outpost of Overlord. They also incorporate the interactivity that Call of Duty Ghosts was probably going for, but instead feels more like the original Black Ops on maps like Radiation that altered sightlines and rushing lanes. For example, on Dam, there's a helipad on a raised part of the map that's only accessible via one ladder unless you interact with the map to elevate a platform that will allow you to run to the helipad from a different area, so in game modes like Secure Point, you can lock down the area that you need to capture. How do you even get to it? You have to climb up like a ladder?
There's a ladder outside and there's stairs.
Here's the ladder. As far as the weapons go, you'll recognize a lot of them from any modern military game that you've ever played, along with tons of camo versions and attachments to kit up your weapon. There's also a selection of 3 perks, along with a lethal and tactical grenade and your score streak selection to complete your loadout. Like most free-to-play shooters, you don't unlock weapons as you level up, but instead you need to purchase them with the in-game currency. One of the negatives that I have about the free-to-play model, especially in this game, is that it feels like a slog sometimes to unlock new guns, but there is a cheaper option of renting a weapon for a day so you could try it out like a bad Skrillex song before you decide to throw down a few hours worth of work on a weapon that you may or may not like. Not to mention, you can unlock weapons and supply drops which are given at random level ups, as well as being able to be purchased with both in-game and actual money. Since the weapons are pretty well balanced, there isn't the pay-to-win feel, but instead it's definitely a pay-to-shortcut model, which isn't great, but I prefer it over the former. The attachments, however, you cannot shortcut by using currency, and instead you need to use that weapon over time in order to level it up, in order to unlock the attachments, in order to make the weapon better, which eliminates some of the pay-to-win aspects of the game. Also, as you level up and you complete challenges, you also get more in-game currency, which allows you to buy more weapons, so the more challenges you do, the better you play, the more chances you will have in order to unlock more weapons. The guns themselves, as I said, feel pretty well balanced, although I haven't tried all of them, obviously, to know which are the best in the game, but with this Call of Duty Time to Kill model, most guns usually drop players in a few shots anyways, although I found that range SMGs are pretty fucking useless. Come on, die! And even though getting sniped can feel kinda shitty, they're not overpowered to the point of having a really fast ADS or a one-shot kill radius that's dumb as fuck, as even I've gotten hit markers and choking feeds like this.
I'm pretty pissed off here, boys. I'm getting super pissed off after that one. Really fucking pissed off!
Oh, Brian with a hit marker.
No, no, god damn it! Another thing you can unlock in loot boxes are cosmetic things to play dress up with in an FPS, and you can even re-roll your item drop by paying some in-game currency, but there's so much watered-down bullshit in those loot boxes that it's not even worth paying currency at the chance of unlocking something you actually want.
Sure.
Let's see what we get.
The fact that
Leopard print gloves! Fuck yes! To round out that Call of Duty feel, you can choose from 3 perks from a total of like 13 or so, usually which I choose speed over everything, meaning I pick quick draw or sleight of hand depending upon how fast the gun I'm using reloads by default, then extra stamina in order to keep you running for longer, and flak jacket since everyone's got fucking grenades. As for the score streaks, there's 2 different tiers of score streaks. There's assault streaks and support streaks, and in this game, unlike in Call of Duty, your points towards your streaks do not reset upon death and are also on a timer like in Titan Titanfall, whereby if you do absolutely nothing in a match, you'll eventually get a streak if that game goes for long enough. However, the cost to acquire such streaks is pretty fucking high, as the lowest is 800 for a crawler drone, and for reference, a UAV is 1400, which is a lot more than the 500 or so in the recent Call of Duty games that people bitch at for being too high. I think this style of score streaks discourages camping, as people won't be playing passively just to get 1 or 2 more kills in order to complete their score streaks, as deaths don't really fucking matter, just like the points in whose line is it anyway. You have 2 different sets of streaks, one for assault type streaks that attempt to kill enemies like vultures or missiles or airstrikes, and another set of support streaks that will help out your team like UAVs, drone countering flak guns, and motion sensors. So you can only pick one of the packages with your loadout. The only issue that I have with score streaks is that for longer game modes, you'll be able to earn them a few times per game, but in TDM, you're likely only to get them once or twice depending upon what you select, just by the nature of the scoring in that game mode. Speaking of which, the game modes that are currently available are TDM, Search and Destroy, a variation of Hardpoint where it is round-based and the hill doesn't change for an entire round, thus forcing players to congregate in one area, and a Bounty Hunt in Titanfall 2 like game mode where there is neutral AI that spawns in specific places to kill and collect their tags to score points for your team. There is a competitive mode that is only S&D and is 5v5 instead of the normal 6v6, which creates an interesting bug that you can't have a party of 6 even when attempting to play only the arcade modes.
Why can't we just invite 6 and it fucking blocks out comp?
Because that's not how the way that it's coded right now, which is dumb. That bug aside, I really only have 2 issues with the game, one of which is easily fixable and the other is already being worked on by the developers. The easily fixable one is the health regeneration. This game is designed to be run and gun, fast-paced Twitch-like shooter, yet the health regen is even slower than the base of Call of Duty World War II, and it runs counter to all of the other design decisions in the game which make it fast-paced, like the high time to kill, map layout, score streak points, etc, etc. This is an easy fix to bump the health regen for game modes other than the competitive S&D, which is where the current regen might be correct for. The other one is netcode. If you want more in-depth analysis of it, I'll link a Battle Nonsense video about the netcode in the game, but the bottom line is, at times the player movement might be too fast for the connection code underneath it, and it sometimes leads to your bullets not registering or other weird things like this.
Fuck me.
Where's the hit detection? It seems to be a recurring theme amongst most reviewers, and the developers said that they're addressing the issue by doing things like changing tick rates, adding more servers, and it isn't as bad as the game that this one is setting the new standards for. I'm looking at you, Call of Duty World War II. This is the new COD standard in terms of how the game looks and plays. This is the Modern Warfare 4 we've been waiting for ever since the lackluster announcement of Call of Duty Ghosts way back in 2013, #FishAI. Small criticisms aside, this is the game that most people were hoping for with Modern Warfare Remastered instead of getting a Modern Warfare reimagined bastardization of a classic. It tickles those nostalgia bones and makes you feel like you're playing a Call of Duty game back in 2012. It also doesn't require a beast PC to run, and it's free to play, so give it a download and see what I'm talking about. If this game comes to console, Ironsight has set the bar for what the next Call of Duty game must be. Otherwise, there's no point in spending $60 on an inferior game that people can just play a better one for free, which is the current situation with Call of Duty World War II and Fortnite right now. Has anyone played this game, and what do you guys think? Let me know down below in the comments section. I've been the Swans27, out like everybody's NCAA tournament bracket. Until next time. This better be my triple. There we go. Stuns and stickies. There's 1. There's 2. Oh, and 4 bullets in a dream. Got him.